welcome. We are pleased and honored to be sitting down with a Camden City legend, a Southern New Jersey legend, a New Jersey legend, Mr. Ron Itchy Smith. Ron, it's good to see you. May I call you Itchy?
Yeah. Come on. Yes.
Now, Itchy, you are a resident of Camden, New Jersey. You grew up here, and you started out here. Could you tell me where in the city are you from, and where'd you grow up?
Well, majority of it is in Centerville, and I was born across town, in Pine Street. And my mom we moved in, to Franceville and stuff. But the majority was in Centerville.
Centerville. Yeah, because Centerville has a rich history culturally, and actually a rich history basketball. A lot of basketball players have come out of this area of Camden City.
Yeah.
Now, you grew up in Centerville, and of course living in Camden. Where'd you end up going to high school at?
Camden High.
Camden High. The High.
The High.
Could you tell me a little bit about your days at Camden High? When you started there as a freshman?
Well, no, back then, we started in the 10th grade.
10th grade.
Yeah, junior high school was 8th and 9th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Okay.
And what else? I mean,
Now, when you went in 10th grade, when did you start on the basketball team? Your first year?
Yeah. And the thing about it was, and luck has a lot to do, and the way things happen, the basketball team graduated the majority of their guys.
Really? So most of the team graduated?
Most of them, most of the guys sunk it and all that. We've been playing as sophomores. We went into Camden High playing because we were a team.
Okay.
Because like I said, they graduated most of the guys, so they had to take us.
Now, your sophomore year, were you a starter when you started playing?
Yeah, all 3 years.
Started at guard.
No, played forward.
Played forward. Now, that was your position all the way through?
Yeah.
Okay, and your sophomore year was 1957, I believe,
Right.
Yeah. And then you moved into your junior year, which was 1958. Now, tell me what was special about that junior year.
The special part I think about it was the community and the people. And,
Okay.
I mean, we packed convention hall.
Used to pack the convention hall.
Packed the convention hall. We couldn't play, most of our teams, we couldn't play in some of these school gyms because they knew people was coming. And they, that's why most of the time we was up on Federal Street.
Now, so our viewers are aware of what actually took place for you. Now, that 1958 season, your junior year, how many games did Camden High lose?
No.
None. Undefeated season. And then how did the season end? What was the culmination of that whole season? What happened with the team? What did you do? Where did you go?
How did that go?
I know you were undefeated. You won your conference.
Yeah, and we went to, our reputation had us so, they was getting the best out of schools out of New York and trying to connect us, but the thing about it was we were only allowed to play, I think, 22 games.
22 games for the whole season.
For the whole season, yeah. And then sometimes, you have postponements and certain things, and then, you try to fill it up. You want to try to fill this stuff up.
So you played the 22 games now. Said we went undefeated. So the last game of the season, what was the last game?
Was it the state championship game?
State championship.
Yeah.
And Camden
Yeah.
won it all.
Won it all.
Won it all.
Yeah.
Now, that was your junior year.
Right.
Now we go on to 1960.
Mhm.
That's your senior year.
Yeah.
How many games did you lose in 1960?
None.
None. Another undefeated year for Camden High School.
Yeah, we went totally. We went 48-0.
48-0. And I guess that year culminated again in a second state championship. Now that's an amazing feat. 2 straight years undefeated, 2 state championships in a row. And we're not just talking local, state championships. Now that's an awesome accomplishment.
Yeah, and the good breaks of it is, well, whether it was a break, but like I say, when we got to we were the team all the time. I mean, because when we got there in the 10th grade, all them guys had graduated. So all of us guys, we played together for 3 years. You know, and then some of the guys who they considered might not be real good, but they looked at played JV ball. You know, they played on the JV. But by the time we, you know, when we got, you know, really got straight, it was beautiful.
Now I know, and I know from talking with people, Itchy, that you are known as the consummate team player. They tell me that if there was a man who was about the team and working together, it was you. But even though they say there's no I in team, truthfully there's no team without individuals who work on their skills so they can have something to contribute to the whole. Now, who was the leading scorer for the team?
I was.
You were. That's right here. They say that you were one of the most prolific scorers to come out of the area and that you had a jump shot that few could touch.
Well, it was, well, sometimes some certain things, yeah, I can understand you looking at me, but it's 4 other guys out there.
Well, I understand. And
You
it's
know,
a team.
It's a team, and maybe when I said I played, I didn't play guard because I had Ralph Heath playing guard, Sonny Sunday playing guard. You know, so I went, played forward with, not for Joe Boy Fisher. He was a center, he was 6'5". You know, Frank Stevens, who wound up playing with the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I mean? He was 6'9". When we were, you know, when we were in there.
And the reason I mention this is because I hear the legends about, you know, the players in this area. They say few could match your speed and few could match your shot. As a matter of fact, there's one story about you playing in one of those games where you had injured your hand. Now, I got to tell the story because they say that game, I believe they say you went something like 14 for 17, I believe, from the field.
Okay.
And it wasn't until after the game when someone overheard you talking that you had a hurt hand. And they said he played like there was nothing wrong with him.
Okay.
But they said that's because Itchy's right-handed. But he played that game left-handed. And still went 14 for 17 from the field with your off hand because your right hand was injured.
Right, right. And then the, you know, like the good thing about that is also that the talent was so nice on the team. I didn't have to shoot 20, 21. I mean, our percentages was good because we didn't shoot them. Yeah, I can get 14, you know, but the main one I speak about is we played for, what did we play for the championship? I think I got 42. And I shot like, I didn't miss about 3 shots.
Yeah, so you didn't have to take 35, 40 shots to get 42 points.
I didn't even have to take 15 shots. I mean, you know, because that was my percentage. I got a teammate. Man, I got guys that could play.
And then there was no 3-point shot then, correct?
Right.
And the reason I bring this up is because I want young players today to know that even though it's a team sport, it takes dedication to the sport. Honing your craft, your skills, so you have something to offer to your team. And if players today would learn that, for instance, you working on your craft so much that you could shoot with your offhand as good as you could with your main hand, to still have a hurt hand and go 14 for 17 in a championship game. Now that's contributing to the team.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that's why even though they say it's a team sport, They say there's no I in team. Well, truthfully, there's no team without eyes who are willing to come together and bring their skills and work together.
Definitely.
And I said, we want to appreciate that fact and let these young players today know here's a man who took the time to work on his game.
And then the other thing that they that you might not see sometime, and we always laugh. And then because the game got different, they changed the game and everything, and it's not personal because of us. Our kids start getting bigger, they start leaping out to gymnasiums, man, and then, no, I ain't saying that, but the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Come on. Now this is me talking.
Okay.
That was an average shot.
I hear you.
And we didn't get but 2 points. I'm saying, we used to play in the, over there, 21. You know, man, you be playing, and you shoot the long and get 2 points, and, shoot the long.
I
It's the
understand.
it's the top of the key.
It's a normal shot.
It's a normal shot. And then all of a sudden, as time went off, a 3-point shot at the top of the key. Come on, that ain't but 17 feet away from the basket.
You can do that with your off hand.
Thank you anyway, but you have to look at the whole series of the games that now, you know what I mean, and it became about MONEY. And that, that's part of the changing the, went from what, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Doing things to help matriculate and upscale the game.
I'm trying to make the game a little more pleasing for the fans. There's a little excitement. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So you had a good high school career. Like I said, you finished off your high school career with 2 state championships back-to-back, undefeated seasons. When you finished high school, what happened with Itchy Smith then? Where'd you go and what took place? Where'd you go?
Well, I was getting papers and stuff, and a lot of people, coaches from the black schools in North Carolina, A&T. That's what we had.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that. North Carolina and South Carolina State and all the guys that went to black college. And then I was gonna go, I was gonna go to, I think, North Carolina A&T.
That's where you're going to go.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but then I got a phone call from Tennessee, and that's where Tennessee went, Dick Barnett went.
Dick Barnett went to Tennessee.
Tennessee State.
Tennessee State, yeah. And then
Dick
you say they called you.
Yeah, they called me, and everything was right there. And everything, I got a 4-year scholarship.
So you went to Tennessee State. Now, what did they say that made you choose them?
It just seemed like it was so for real, and then education. Most of the guys we can come home during the summer. We went to summer school. Take them 6 credits, or take them. Add the healthy.
So even though you enjoyed playing basketball, it wasn't all about basketball for you. You went to school because you wanted education.
Education. And then it's a fact that, like, all the guys that, we left Camden High, and Frank Stevens, he went to Virginia State, and Joe Boy Fisher went to North Carolina A&T, Charles Maddox went to Virginia Union. Stevie Sly, he was a sophomore, but he went to J.C. Smith, Johnson C. Smith, and the best, not, I can't say it's the best, but out of all the guys, you know, that left Camden High, most of them went to college.
Yeah, they went to college.
Got 3 lawyers. I mean, 9, it was like 9 of them. And probably 7 degrees, 8 degrees, and 3 out of them degrees is lawyers.
Well, nowadays, from a team, you're lucky if you get 1 or 2 to graduate.
Because the purpose is not to graduate, the purpose is to be seen by these pros. And they not attempt, but you know, want you to try out. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of times also that's why you some of them, it's not a knock, but that's why you taking ABC. You ain't taking no hard math. You ain't taking, you know, because you just, you know, you just want to be there. You just want to be seen. You ain't taking that. What you major in? Let me
Basket weaving.
But yeah, that's, you know, that's the point. You know, and even back then, among us as a people, education was the thing. You know, go to some of the schools, you know, as a youngster and everything. 4 or 5 teachers live in the neighborhood. How can you act retarded? I mean, you know,
Because they see you in school, they see you on the way home, they see you come out your house, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, that was so. Oh man, that was so touching and everything, man. You know, the teachers, they were so serious.
But Itchy, though, even though I know it was all about academics, while you spent your time in the class and getting your education, you were also continuing that education on the basketball court too, because you had a standout, stellar collegiate career also. You were there for 4 years. And how many years did you make all conference there?
Twice.
2 years all conference.
Yeah, because I played 2 years with.
All right, see you.
You ever heard of Merriweather?
No, I can't say I have.
He played with them. He was there with. What?
What is he, a TV star or something?
Yeah, don't get in the picture.
See you guys. All right, nice meeting you.
You too. Take care now. You were telling us about 2 years all conference at Tennessee, and you were Merriweather. That was
Porter Merriweather. He played. I mean, like I'm saying, Wichita was there. Dick Barnett. You ever heard of him?
Yes, sure have.
Hey, they always kept. You know what I mean? But back then, you playing. You got. We didn't get the. I can't say how to put it, but the Prairie Views. Them schools also, man. They were very productive, man.
Good squads.
Oh man. I mean everything. It was football, basketball, baseball, and baseball. Us, Oh man, that was it. And you enjoyed it. I wasn't worried about being in Nashville, going to Vanderbilt, going out there and play with them guys. No. I mean, I said, we'd rather go. This university is right up the street from us.
That's what you did.
And that's what we do, communicate. We was on We was on 35th. It's funny, guys. We be talking about it. 35th and Jefferson. This was at 18th and Jefferson. We could come out the same, the same. It was on the same street, but that many blocks, away. And students be, walking up and down, going to visit school. Although Tennessee State was bigger than Fisk. Yeah, but Fisk was mostly Fisk was. Whew, you had to be a double A student. I mean, but it was nice, man. I ain't knocking it, but it was something good, man. It was really good, man.
You had a good college career, and then you came back home to the city of Camden to apply what you learned.
I tried out with no, and they used to play right there in Convention Hall, and I tried out with the Warriors, and was a very good friend of Wilt Chamberlain.
Well,
Because we knew each other,
Yeah.
we used to scrim at the YMCA, man, Overbrook, and mostly some of the black, schools. And, yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, and then, we down Atlantic, they still go down Atlantic City, and that's where the, preseason, the preseason, and, Chamberlain, he came up to me, he said, "Can I talk to you?" Well, we knew one another playing in Philly and summer leagues and everything. And he ran it down to me. He just said, it's that you make a team here in this era is slim.
yeah, there weren't many positions for the black athlete.
For the black athlete. And he was nice about it. I mean, he was, man. He was a really nice guy, man. Yep, and we became friends and everything. Used to go down to Atlantic City, and I forget that nightclub was Harlem. I forget anyway. It was back in the day, all the blacks, they went. I mean, and you see people, man. You see. Oh man, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And then, like I said, you run into some of the guys, and it was beautiful, man. I can't. It was.
Sounds like it was a beautiful time.
Oh, man. Fun, everything, man. It's touching. I mean, because we were, back then, like you mentioned too, we were different as a people.
More community, more family.
Man. And everything was together.
And it translated onto the court. That's how you guys played. That's it.
Right.
More friends, more family. It was a basketball community.
Yeah.
You said then it was about team, not about trying to make the highlight as an individual.
That's number one. You hit it right on the head. Because we could have, we was in Group 4. And Group 4 back then was,
The big schools.
Atlantic City, Bridgeton, Vineland, what's up? Can't come up with it right now, but that part of it was. That's where we had to go all the way to go to Vineland for football. They was all Group 4.
Yeah.
Vineland, Bridgeton, it's the same thing. It was competitive, but it was good. It was good. It was really good.
Well, I said it sounds to me like you really enjoyed your career in sports and that it was a real important part of your life.
No question. And sometimes the better part of it, in a way to me, and this is personal, is the people.
Well, it's nothing like meeting good people, and that's why Itchy, it's been a real privilege and honor for us eyeball to actually sit down and talk basketball with you.
Oh man, I'm glad you came. You know, when you say you coming early or y'all wasn't there, and I said, oh what? I said that's cool. I was sitting upstairs, you know, and I told my mom and them. I said the guys is coming, you know, a little sooner. And she said okay. I said ain't no problem, you know. I said yeah, and I appreciate it, man. That's nice.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ron Itchy Smith, former Camden High basketball standout, undefeated back-to-back seasons, two-time back-to-back state championship in New Jersey, stellar standout at Tennessee State. Mr. Ron Itchy Smith, I just have one more question to ask you this evening. Ron Itchy Smith, would you tell me, do you ball?
No.
Mr. Ron Itchy Smith, do you ball?
Yes, I do.
Well, you look right there in the camera and let them know. Yes, I ball.
Yes, I ball. Oh man.
Go right ahead.
Listen, man. You know, in this